Welcome to Emotional Support Water Bottle with Hannah and Ailish. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Ailish.
And the Golden Globes were this past weekend.
Yeah, by the time you hear this,
it will have moved way on.
But we are still thinking about it. I will say I was not going to watch. I think we'd said before that we had grown a little weary of award shows.
Yes.
But I didn't have anything else to do, and I put it on. And you know what? I was pleasantly surprised overall.
I know. The parts that I watched weren't too bad, really. And I felt like they really kept it moving.
They did. The thing that I hate the most is when the celebrities, especially when we were in that major political climate,
Yes.
they felt that this was their time to take a stand, and nobody cared. You're up there accepting an award for a movie.
With all the pretty people going to parties while the rest of us were trapped in our house and couldn't speak to people.
Right.
We were just over it.
But I felt like I snapped you this while the show was on, but I don't know if it's that maybe there's like a fresh new crop of actors that are kind of coming in and winning more.
Right.
It just seems like they have more of a progressive way of thinking.
Right.
And they were a little more like inclusive and down to earth in their speeches.
I know. And they seem very like humbled and like grateful and not annoyed. They were, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have like this arrogant attitude towards like getting up there and winning and stuff.
I was happy that Kieran Culkin won. That was nice. Nice to see that family like doing well.
I know. That's what I thought too. I'm like, it's just nice to see them. It's so like, I get so like cringed out for the people when they're like walking up to the stage and the camera's just like staying on there. And I think it was Ali Wong maybe got like, or something got caught up. And it was like, it was taking them forever. And those tables are so close to each other and everybody's standing up and it's like 10 minutes of them walking through this maze.
Playing. I know. And
it's like, I can't handle it.
I don't know what her name is, but the main actress from The Bear that won.
No, Ayo.
Yes.
Something.
She is so cute with that short hair. That was adorable. Oh my gosh.
Cute.
But like someone stepped on her train at one point. She almost like fell over. I was like, oh my God.
See, why do they have to have them packed in there like that? It's crazy.
I know. And then especially when you can tell that like no one expected them to win because they're way in the back. And then it takes them
extra
forever.
long.
Yeah. And then it's also awkward for all the other people that are just at tables.
Yeah.
Standing, clapping. The camera's following them. They're conscious of the camera. Like, I can't make a weird face.
I know, right?
Yeah. Like, it is awkward.
I know, and just cringe it. It's like, ugh, I hate it. And I was like kind of disappointed. But me and my mom, like my mom was over and I'm like, oh, let's just put on the red carpet. There was no red carpet.
I saw that. Amanda Hirsch said that. You didn't have one.
Yeah, they didn't have it. Like I looked on the thing and it was just like movies. And I'm like, oh, I guess they're not doing it.
I wonder why. Because they always do red carpet. I think
probably because, we'd have like.
We all complained about how horrible they were.
Yeah, they're all so
the
mean.
Correspondents.
I know. And now that they're not there, where are they? Well, and it's like, and I was even thinking kind of like that. When I was watching the Globes, I didn't see much of the host.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, because nobody wants to laugh anymore.
Well,
nobody wants
Did you hear how, because I'm going to like forget his name, but is it
Joe Coy,
right? Wasn't he engaged to Chelsea Handler or something?
Oh,
or weren't they dating? I could
be.
have the complete wrong person. No, it wasn't him. He was engaged to somebody else.
Oh, I don't know. I've never even heard of him.
I can't remember, or I could just be misremembering. And I hate when other podcasts do that. They can't get their facts straight. But this is just a random thing that has been being brought up. But anyway, did you see how some people were a little mad about a couple of his jokes?
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess the jokes just weren't funny. I didn't hear like the beginning thing.
Neither did I. I started watching about an hour in, I think.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I guess just have a host that says, hi, everybody, and then leaves. Like, I don't know what the right answer is. And then the fact that nobody even wanted to do it at all just shows like a lot.
I did think it was because the one thing from the monologue at the beginning that I looked up afterwards was the Barbie comment. And like, I was really disappointed when I heard it.
I know, because it's like exactly what we thought. You missed the point of the movie, and all the people who didn't watch it, and then we're saying that it was just dumb and
you
blah,
could,
blah, blah.
Like I said, I did not watch it when it was on live, but even from the repost, like, it did not land at all.
And Greta Gerwig was like,
yeah,
like you're just, I was like,
and then he tried to like double back and be like, no, I love the movie. You probably didn't even watch it. And then he tried to say he was sexually attracted to a plastic doll. Like, that makes it worse.
I know. And it's such like a cheap joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an easy joke. Like, plastic boobs.
It was just dumb. And it was disappointing. And it was exactly what you would expect. But you hoped for better.
I know.
And then I saw that he was like, there was another joke or two that weren't really landing, and he was like, give me a break. I didn't write all these, and I only had 10 days to do it. And then I saw a TikTok where someone was like, I'm concerned that he's saying he only had 10 days. I've popped out a 10-page paper in like less than 24 hours. Yeah, which is so true. Like, that's kind of a good amount of time to prep for that. And he just threw the other writers under the bus. Like, well, the ones that you're laughing at are mine, and the other ones that suck belong to these other low-life writers.
Right.
Like, okay, like,
I know.
What
I think it was just a weird. I know, it's just a weird vibe.
Yeah, I think Heather McDonald said it because I listened to her. I didn't finish it yet, but in her episode today, she's like, you literally need someone who goes up there, just like you said, doesn't even try to be funny, just says hello, talks
Thanks
about
for coming here tonight.
what gives their 2 cents on a couple of the movies or whatever. It moves things along.
Yes.
Like, it's not the time or place. Except remember when Ricky Gervais hosted it and he just like did not care, and he made all the like the Jeffrey Epstein jokes, and Tom Hanks was very angry.
I know it's like you either have to just go up there and not care about all the critiques you're gonna get, or just don't do it at all. I mean, or like not even have that. It's like at this point, nobody, like, I don't know, nobody wants to have fun anymore.
I know, but I also think there's a difference between jokes that are just bad and jokes that are boundary pushing that are risky. Right. Like, his jokes weren't risky. Right. You know? Like, but I agree. I think people don't want to hear your monologue. Just say, welcome to the whatever Golden Globes. Here's our first presenter.
And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Like,
well, you know, if they want somebody to do it, we could always do it.
Some fresh faces. We will not cause a controversy.
We will do the absolute bare minimum and speak the least amount.
Yeah.
If that makes everyone happy.
Have the most viewers that you've had in ages, because it'll be a quicker show. Yep. People won't have to sit through over 3 hours.
No, we could get it done in like hour 15.
Yeah.
Just keep it going.
I don't know if networks will be happy with that because of the, cash flow, but
there's no
everybody
way to
else
win.
Would be happy.
There's no other way to do it.
I know. And the Taylor Swift joke. I didn't think that was that. It was an easy shot.
Again, it was just, I know I did hear that one. I was like, all right.
It was just, and I didn't watch it. Like, I didn't see that part of it. So I don't know if what they stitched together really was that she had that reaction to the joke, or if they're like, oh, this is perfect. Right. We'll edit it.
And it's like, too, I mean, it wasn't funny. So it's like,
right. What
was
did
she
you
just
expect?
supposed to be like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, if it wasn't funny, then she's not gonna laugh,
right?
Or nobody's gonna laugh,
right? Period. I mean, that would have been, yeah, I don't know. That would have been a situation to pull a Jennifer Lawrence and just be like, look directly at the camera and be like, you know, yeah.
But
anyway, so we wanted to talk about some of the fashion,
which was making me think of when we used to sit. We'd be like sitting next to each other, both have our phone out and going through the list at the same time and talking about it. Yeah, or
remember when we would in high school too, in our computer class?
Yeah. Like clicking. Oh my gosh,
those were the days.
Those were. But I think overall, everybody looked good.
I did. I was really impressed with how people looked. Like, there wasn't one that I was like, ew, like that is horrid.
I know. I feel like everybody really tried to just look simple and nice, and I don't know. It was
refreshing.
Good. It was refreshing.
And I think I don't even want to say it because I could jinx it, but it seems like we may be moving past the like nude illusion dress.
I know.
There wasn't a lot of that, which I know we see that more at like the Grammys or VMAs or something. But that was creeping into our like major award shows. It
sure was.
And we didn't see really any of that.
No, everybody looked nice. Covered appropriately.
I know. Yeah, I liked it. Your first one on there I see is Taylor Swift. I have to say I like that she didn't do a red lip, because
I know it would have been Christmas.
Yeah, it would have looked weird with her green dress, but also we see her in the red lip all the time. It's her signature. This was a fun change.
It was a fun change, and I wondered if it was an Easter egg for Reputation re-release or re-record, because it's not dark green like a snake, but it is a little hint of snaky.
As Hannah zooms
and
in.
That's supposed to be out in February, allegedly.
I could see that.
Yeah. So I'm like, I wonder if it's like a little, but we don't have to talk about that.
I think that silhouette is flattering on her too.
It was really flattering. Yeah, I think she looks good. Her hair looks good. Her makeup looks good.
This is where the bangs are looking good.
They are looking good.
I have been critical of the bangs. But they look good here. They're a full bang this time.
Full bang. Got Margot Robbie. That was a good one.
Classic Barbie. What did she say? It was like Showtime Barbie or something.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Yeah.
She and then I saw she had the black version.
Yes.
That was fun.
I liked
that. I used to love when they would do like a version of their dress for the after party, but make it like, different.
Yeah,
or like shorter.
Yeah.
Still love that.
I thought that was really cute. I saw some people that were like, "Oh, I'm over the Barbie." What did you expect her to do?
Like, literally, like, come on. And if you got to dress like Barbie for almost like 6 months, like over a year. Come on, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
do it. Like, you wouldn't do it. Like,
I know.
Shut up, people.
She would look good in literally anything you put on her.
She is literally so beautiful.
I know.
Like, her face, her smile is so pretty.
And even like her body, like she's not too skinny. She's like still
perfect.
Toned. Yeah. Like, I want
she
to
is Barbie.
be her. Yeah.
And her hair looks beautiful.
Super cute.
Emma Stone, we liked her. I do think that the front slit is like a bit
how it's right in the middle, like that.
Yeah, or like high. Yeah.
But like we said before we started recording, like this is just, we've seen a version of this on her a million times.
Especially in that color too.
But it is so pretty. It does look good on her skin.
It does. And her hair looks really cute like that.
It does.
And I said earlier too, I would have liked to see her in the Emily Blunt dress, because I think that would have been like that type of dress she likes, but
a little different. Yeah, that would have been a nice refresh.
Jennifer Lopez looked really good.
Her classic figure hugging dress.
I was surprised she did pink because of
too.
like the Barbie stuff and
Yeah.
her having no affiliation.
And
She probably wasn't thinking of it, but
She doesn't typically go for that
No.
tone either. I liked the arm things. They were different.
I know. I liked that too because a lot of and there was like a couple other people that did that too, and it was cool to see just like the simple dress, but then that like elevated it a little.
I wonder, I don't know if she took them off for the show. I didn't even pay attention.
I didn't pay
to
attention either.
I bet they were
Alright,
removed.
I guess
Okay, Selena Gomez is one of the ones I did not like at all.
I would have loved it if it wasn't that asymmetrical thing.
Yeah,
Like I think she looks pretty in red.
she does. I thought her hair and makeup was fine. I just don't think that the top half looks comfortable or
no, it definitely did
flattering
not
at
look
all.
comfortable.
But if it was just like a simple strapless full length ball gown, fine. But that neckline is hard. And I just think it looks like it's all constricted up top.
Yeah, it does look that way a little bit. I do want to say that her face was looking more like it used to. Like I feel like that's the best. And I know she has a condition.
It's hard because I think it's a mix of both, right?
Right.
Like probably some fillers.
And like these medications.
Yeah.
But she was looking more like herself. And she looks, I guess what I'm trying to say is she looks really healthy.
Well, Hannah, it could be the look of love as well, because we know that she is fully in love with Benny Blanco.
Of course.
I'm surprised he didn't like walk with her.
I know.
But
maybe she couldn't have a +1.
maybe
She wasn't allowed.
they were like, yeah, I've been dating long enough.
Yeah.
She's like, it's been over 6 months.
Maybe that's what they were talking about. They were saying I couldn't bring Benny Blanco.
But she brought Timothy.
But Kylie came with Timothy.
With Timothy.
There we go. We just figured out what they were talking
breaking
about.
news. Almost a week
figured it
late. All right, some of the men.
You know, we got a guy, Ryan Gosling, I thought looked good.
He looks good in anything too.
Yeah.
And I do like that. It's almost like a pop art type of vibe.
Yeah. It almost looks like 20s or like that kind of aesthetic-y.
I like
Great
that.
Gatsby.
Yeah, it looks great.
Art Deco. Then Emily Blunt looks really good.
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
She is, and she looks really. I was at some movie and there was a preview with her in it. And it was her and somebody else. But anyway, they both were like older actor and I mean, you know, she's not that old.
Right.
But they both looked really young.
Yeah.
And I thought she looks really good.
She
and
does.
I loved her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Where it
She
was
just-
like in the braid.
Like her face is just so stunning that I
It
love
is.
when her hair is pulled back like that.
I know she is one of those people that looks almost better with her hair pulled back.
Yeah, she looked great, but we commented, I don't think that John Krasinski's
No.
look matched that.
No.
And I thought the red was way too much.
I think it was.
And it was uncharacteristic
It
of
was.
him.
It was like, where'd that come
Yeah.
from? Like, he's always just in the regular suit.
Like the most he's done is like a velvet blazer.
Literally.
Like, yeah, it was weird.
Angela Bassett looks really good.
She's so beautiful,
I know,
too.
and her face. I have in the picture. I have her face is covered, but her face looks really good too.
Yeah.
I really loved the color of this dress. I thought it was so pretty.
Brie Larson.
Yeah. Sorry, Brie Larson. I don't
Was
like
she in
Brie
a
Larson
movie?
very much. I don't know. No, she's in that lessons
in chemistry. So that's why. Okay, gotcha.
But I love the color.
Yeah, I don't love how low the neckline is with those straps. I mean, I get it's kind of going into like that older style, that vintage style. But yeah, the color is really pretty with her hair and skin
I know,
tone.
yeah. So she like looks good. Jennifer Lawrence looked good.
Jennifer Lawrence.
So was this navy?
honestly,
Because now I
that
thought it
does
was
look like a
black,
navy
but then this
tint.
picture kind of made it velvety.
I don't care what color it was. I thought she looked unbelievable.
I know.
Like-
She's been looking good this whole 2023.
Yes.
She like came out of back out.
Right. I mean,
in a while.
she just looked stunning. Like
I know.
that silhouette, that dress. I mean, it was just so simple, but so beautiful. I love that like effortless style on her. The hair, long, luscious, all pulled to one side. I mean, she just like
The
this, I
makeup
think
looked
is
really
the best
good.
she has ever looked.
I know. She's just aging like fine wine.
She really is.
But her makeup looked really good.
Yeah.
Too. I loved it. I don't like her or Dua Lipa.
Yeah, we can put pictures up.
Dua Lipa, I really like that top part of that dress, but I didn't like her hair. And it's not just the color. I wish she would have done it styled differently.
I don't love the color on her though either.
No.
Yeah, I kind of wished. I guess she's an edgier person in general. So this dress fits more with her style than like the Barbie.
Right.
Even though that's what she was there for. And honestly, this is going to sound kind of stupid, but when I first saw it, I thought that the top part was supposed to be like a violin or one of those like standing like bass things, and then someone else said it was like a skeleton. Bones? And I was like, oh, never mind.
No, I'm like, no, wait, it is a violin or a bass. No, it's bones.
I'm like, oh.
I like it though. I just don't like the hair is really not. But the makeup look again, like everybody's makeup looked really good. Jennifer Aniston
cut her hair. Everybody kept saying it's the Rachel. It's not it's fully the Rachel. Come on,
are you talking about layers?
Yeah,
it's not. I do like, even though it's the same thing she does all the time, I still like it and feel like it was different, like with
the scalloping kind of. Yeah, I like how she. Like, there's some people that I'm like annoyed that they don't push boundaries with their clothing or their choices for these. But for her, she is such a simplistic person anyway. And her style in general is very simplistic that I expect her to wear stuff like this. And it would be weird if she was in like some crazy outfit or gown. Yeah.
Like that Jennifer Lopez dress. Yeah. No, and I just really liked this one. It is a little different.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman, it's pretty.
I forgot about her being
she was
there.
Kind of like, it was almost like she wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, I legitimately
like she was there,
forgot.
But she wasn't. It's like very quiet.
Jeremy Allen White. I love that men are doing these sheer gauzy shirts under their suit jackets. Like, that to me is just so sexy because it's almost like you don't notice it at first.
I know. And it almost has like a little bit of like
a feminine touch.
Thing,
yeah.
which I love.
I am obsessed with it. I know. Yeah. Like, he just looked so good. I mean, I don't even know how tall he is. I don't freaking care if he's the same height as me. Like,
he's good. And we have to go see the Iron Claw.
Yeah, we do. We still, for those of you that have been listening for a long time, we still have.
Let's use it on that. But yeah, he looked really good.
We've got there she is.
Ayo Edinbury.
I'm sorry, I've never heard her name be said, so I.
Not sure how it's pronounced. But yeah, I love this dress. It's so cute and her hair looks adorable.
Yeah, I love her hair was so cute. Like, it
was adorable.
I noticed, and even with Emma Stone, not that short, but shorter length. Like, so cute.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
but I just don't think I can.
I know. I don't have the face for it.
I know. But she looks gorgeous. I love the red. I like that length on her. Like,
and it's almost like a corally red. Like, it's just so pretty.
And since I didn't watch last year, I don't know if she was there. I think The Bear was nominated last year.
They were, I believe.
But I don't recall. But I don't think I even looked at stuff last year. But it's so cute. Even if this is her second Golden Globes, like, such a great look. Yeah.
Julia Garner. I
don't love it.
I know at first I didn't like it, but the longer I looked at her, I was like, actually, I kind of do like it.
It's not like I dislike it. It's just I'm kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like it's fine.
Yeah. And I think she looks good with everybody else.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore.
Fine.
Yeah, looks good.
That was one of the oh no, she's from that Abbott Elementary, which I don't watch.
I don't
She
watch
looks
that
cute.
either. She does look cute.
Meryl Streep.
Looks good.
Cute.
Always.
Always can do no wrong.
Matt Balmer.
He always looks good too.
I know, and I liked that color. Danielle Brooks, she looked good too.
I like kind of sometimes doing like so much.
There's definitely a lot of fabric.
But sometimes I like that.
Yes.
Like I almost think it works for her.
I know, and like the hair is tumbling too, and it's all just like tumbling.
Like for somebody else, she would be drowning in it, but like she looks like she is carrying it, like she's owning it.
I know. I do like that one a lot. I bet that was a heavy dress.
Oh, I bet it was too.
This is Carrie
Russell.
Carrie Russell. She looked really pretty
what is she
up
in?
close. What was she? She was in I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. She looked good.
Yeah.
She looked nice.
Riley Keough. She always looks nice. I know.
And she did look really pretty. I love her hair and her makeup. The makeup is just so good this year. Lenny Kravitz. I mean, he looks good. He always does.
Hannah has a newfound love for Lenny Kravitz.
All I'm saying is I think he'd probably be a good lay.
Just by looking at him. You can tell.
He just has that vibe. Hunter Schafer looked really pretty.
I thought Hunter Schafer looked amazing.
I know,
with
and when it
was
blowing,
yes.
It's like, did they know it was going to be windy and like did this just because it was like meant for that? And I love that. Her like milky skin.
Hunter Schafer's been looking amazing.
Literally amazing. And
ethereal. Such an ethereal look.
I know. And her voice is so cute. She's like a little nervous.
I know. I like Hunter Schafer.
Me too. She's going to be in a new scary movie that was coming out.
That's exciting.
Use our pass on that.
Another one. Oh, I didn't even see that person.
Pom Clementi. It's cool. I like her hair.
It is cool. I don't know who that is though, so I'm sorry to.
Makeup's pretty.
Yeah.
Makeup and hair.
Very edgy, and I like that.
I like that too. Elizabeth Debicki. She looked pretty.
From The Crown.
Yes. I thought she looked pretty.
Yeah, she's got an ethereal look too. I like how her hair is almost the same color as the dress. That's almost the same color as her skin. Like it all really blends.
It does.
And
I like
again,
that.
look at the hair. So simple.
I know. And it looks really good. Like it just fits her.
Like I wish
she
my
looks
hair
like Sophie Turner a little bit.
Yeah, she kind of does. The same bone structure.
Yeah,
kinda.
and like the long, lanky body.
No, she looks good.
She does.
Oh.
He looked good.
Barry Keoghan looks amazing.
I know. I love the...
And I think it was Louis Vuitton, I think.
I thought the men had really good accessories this year.
Yes, he had a fun little like earring in.
I like his haircut's fun.
He just, and this looks like something he would honestly wear like normally.
I know.
Like he has
like if you're on a date with them.
Like which I was nervous because we had heard rumors.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, and they did not come together.
I know, and as far as we know, she wasn't there, but maybe they were at an after party.
I didn't see photos of her, but that doesn't mean she wasn't there.
No.
Hannah Waddingham looked amazing.
I know. I literally love this.
Amazing. She's definitely one of my top.
I know, top 3. I thought that was so pretty too.
I mean, look at how it fits
lace.
her body. Like it's unreal.
And that top thing, it's that's all part of the dress. Like that is beautiful.
Yeah, she looks so good.
I know. I love it, and I love the hair. Works. All is working.
Lily Gladstone. Now, I do need to see Killers of the Flower Moon.
I know.
Her speech made me so emotional.
So beautiful. I've been watching some of her like press stuff too, and she just seems so like sweet and lovely, and I don't know.
I think it's really nice that
Pretty
Native
jewelry.
people
I
are
know.
getting the accolades that they deserve.
I know.
And it's so beautiful that, like, you know, I think the relationship that she and Leo had
I
on this
know.
film is beautiful, and how she spoke about like Martin Scorsese
I
and
know.
everybody just being so supportive, and like it was just so refreshing and just beautiful. Like,
I know.
like, not to be so emotional, but it's just like she's not just like one person getting the award.
I know.
It's for so many others, and I thought it was.
And she won. Like,
Yeah.
I bet she's gonna win the Oscar.
I bet she will too.
Hope she does.
She just, even her speech was so well spoken.
I know, and just like, I don't know, she just seems like a cool person. Like, I'd love to go to dinner with her.
I know, pick her brain. It was sweet to see Leo like getting
I
a
know.
little misty eyed.
I love how like supportive he is to his female co-stars.
I know.
Sometimes, like, obviously Kate Winslet and stuff, but it is sweet. It's like,
But not to go to a dark place, but it is kind of, from what we as outsiders, our
Right.
perception of Leo, it's like he kind of holds women that he works with or that are kind of
Right.
on his level as an actor in such a high regard, but
then
then
he
the women
dates,
that he
like-
dates,
like children.
yeah, and they're disposable practically.
Literally, like model after model after
Yeah.
model after model. It is interesting that he like
It's like he
Strange.
respects women so highly if they're of a certain caliber.
But then if he's having a random hookup, he's got headphones on. Or VR heads.
No eye contact.
You have to turn around. Did we tell that story on the
I don't know.
Should we?
Yeah, if we didn't say it before.
And apparently Leonardo DiCaprio, what happens when it's a random hookup, I'm sure when he's in a relationship it's a different situation.
I'm
I
sure.
hope. But this person spots the girl across the room. They send her up to the hotel. She's got to get on the bed on all fours, and she's not allowed to turn around. And apparently he has headphones on.
So he's
that's what
basically in a different dimension.
Listening, nobody knows what he's listening to, but I have heard that which I don't know if I believe. Well, I mean, the whole thing is crazy.
Yeah.
That he's listening to himself. Like in roles. I'm like, come on, it's gotta be something else.
It's probably like techno music.
He's like going to the beat.
No regard for the woman, just
Literally just a body.
and then he probably just like leaves the room.
Literally. And then the bodyguard sends her out.
They're like, you can take a shower if you want, but
But I'm done with you.
oh my god.
Anywho. That's all speculation.
Oh, I thought
I
Rosamund
loved
Pike
it.
looked beautiful. And they said that she got in a ski accident.
Yeah, it's like you can't, I mean, I know she has like the headdress on, but like you couldn't tell. And I think that is such a cool piece.
Me too. I think that I saw a little clip and she said the date that she got in the accident. So
She
her
looks good.
face had like mostly
Healed.
healed, but she didn't know when she picked out her
Right.
outfit like what things were gonna look like. But I thought, yeah, that was stunning. I mean, even if she didn't have that tragedy happen,
I know. I think she still should have had
she
that
should.
on.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like a straight off the runway.
I know. And it fits her character. Natasha. Yeah, Natasha.
Leon. Right. I thought hers was good. It was, again, like boundary pushing. I thought that was a dress, though, that like it seemed like it would be uncomfortable to sit in it because it had these, it looked just very structured through the bodice. Then it had like these two very tall,
Oh. I thought it was-
I guess just the
Pieces.
neckline came up to frame the face. I thought that it would have been something that like you should wear for the red carpet, almost even like more exaggerated, wear it for the red carpet and then change. But then if she would have won for something, then it wouldn't be the dramatic moment with her getting. But I liked it. It seemed very her as well. And I I haven't watched.
I liked the jewelry a lot.
Yeah, and that hair color, that red shade looks so nice on her skin.
It does.
I have not seen her in anything since Orange is the New Black, but I know that she's been in a lot. And I like that she's really like expanded her persona career.
And I'm glad that people are like using her.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like she's just been kind of here, there. Like before Orange is the New Black, and now it's like she seems like she has a really good like career, thing going.
She must be really talented, or else people wouldn't keep getting her for these shows. But yeah, I like seeing her career progression.
I know, it is nice.
So
anyway,
those were our thoughts on the I feel like that was probably a little long-winded.
Whoops, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it was just overall, it was nice.
Everybody looked really good. Well, I think we'll take a break for a second and then
we'll be back. The temperatures are starting to cool down, and you know what that means. It is cookie making season. So instead of making your own cookie dough or going and buying that prepackaged stuff at the store that we know isn't super healthy, why not try something that is actually made with good for you ingredients? That is where dough comes in. These cookie doughs are ready to make right out of the tub, and you can also eat the cookie dough raw because it is vegan and gluten-free. The best part is that it's enhanced with different vitamins and supplements that can support your immunity or help stabilize your mood. We have tried a few of these different flavors, and we're always eager to try new ones. They are so delicious. We've tried the donuts as well, which are so perfect to put in your lunchbox for work, and we're going to be trying some of the delicious spreads that they have soon. So if any of that sounds good to you, go to Eat Dough, that's dough spelled DEUX.com, and use our promo code WATERBOTTLE for 10% off. That's eatdough.com and use promo code WATERBOTTLE. And we're back. If you didn't enjoy listening to us talk about the fashion,
maybe that's a little too long. Sorry about that.
I am sorry, but we're going to put the pictures up so you guys can see
That'll
too.
Help.
Before we move on, we would be horrible podcasters if we didn't talk about the couple of the century.
Looking into each other's eyes,
Kylie
playing with this
and
necklace.
I seriously, in all the TikToks I saw of it, and I don't know what it is, why I'm in this like weird emotional state, but looking at them, it was such a tender moment.
It was, and I like that they're like age appropriate.
Yeah.
Like it's just so beautiful. But I just like, I wonder if he's like met the kids. Like, does he spend time with the kids? Like, that's just so crazy to think that he's like stepdaddish.
I know.
Like, I don't know. It's like so weird, but they're still so cute.
It was just sweet to see. It just seems like Kylie has her guard down.
I know. And like, I'm sure Travis was fine.
Yeah.
But it's like Tyga wasn't a great relationship for her, and like I'm not really sure what her and Travis's situation really was that whole time, and it just feels like he's treating her kindly.
Yeah, and it's like just we didn't see a lot of her and Travis's relationship either. No. But like we didn't really see a lot of moments like this.
No, where it's like they're tenderly looking at each other.
It just seems like she's just, like I said, really her guard is down.
Right.
Like she really is like comfortable in her skin with Timothée Chalamet. And I think that is so beautiful. And I just have to say, like, you know, people were kind of making fun, like, what did they even talk about? And like,
first of all, she has the most personality out of all of them.
I know.
I'm sorry, but
like, come on. And he obviously has a good personality. Like, there's plenty of things they could be talking about.
Literally.
And just about a side note on Timothée Chalamet, like, I was just if he looked at me the way he was looking at Kylie,
I was like,
I like was like so taken aback.
I know, he's like leaned forward, and it was cute too because, I mean, obviously we don't know if they don't know the cameras on them, but they, like, all the people that were there, it didn't seem like they knew cameras were on them.
I know.
So it was like, it was just really sweet that they were doing that.
It seemed
without
organic.
a show.
Yeah. I know. And I'm not a professional lip reader, but it seemed like she was commenting on his necklace. Right. And then it was just one of those cute things in a relationship where, like, you're so enamored by the person where it's like you're like looking for an excuse to kind of like touch them. Right. And then you just like are absentmindedly like touching something else. Right. Like she was just rubbing like the lapel of his jacket. I'm like, oh.
And he was loving it. Be young and in love.
I just thought it was really sweet.
I know, and he was just like loving that she was giving him the attention.
They both just looked genuinely happy.
They did, and they weren't like being like ridiculous either.
And I kind of like that she didn't walk the carpet.
I know.
Well,
we wouldn't even know if she didn't walk the freaking carpet because we couldn't see it. She probably was out there.
We just didn't see. We don't know. But she's been very low key with this relationship. And I think that, she's doing that for a reason.
And this was like a great like elevation for the Cargens. Like they're dating Oscar winners or like nominees, Golden Globe nominees.
Like serious actor. Yeah, I mean
that gives them some real street cred.
I know, like we're moving on from the rappers and the athletes. But I saw another TikTok and it was like Timothée Chalamet is like the most connected man in Hollywood. Yeah. Like he just seems like
he's got friends.
But like, how could you not be friends with him? Like, he seems so charismatic.
I know, he's so goofy
and genuine, and just like he would be friends with anybody.
Literally. And my mom went and saw Wonka, and she said he was such a doll in there, and I had to be like, "That's Kylie's guy," and she's like, "Oh, what?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I loved seeing them together. Like any little peek I can get into their relationship, I am lapping it up. Like I cannot stop.
I know, it's so sweet. I'm just like, did he meet the kids?
I know, and it's one of those things where it's like I almost feel like I'm in the relationship. Like when I see it, I'm like smiling.
You're like, oh, there they are.
Yeah,
I know. I'd love to see some more. Like I hope that they're all at like the awards season, more stuff, and like it would be cool if like at the Oscars or something they're like walking together.
Like, just delicately holding hands. And Kylie, like we've said before, she really is going a more minimalistic route with her makeup and stuff. Like her hair was just delicately tousled.
I know, that was pretty.
Her makeup was very minimal.
I know, and she's thinner than ever. And her dress, I didn't really get like a full pick of her dress, but it did look really pretty. And that's like what you should wear as a date.
Yes, something more understated but still beautiful and classy. Yeah, I can't say enough good things. I mean, I just...
It'll be interesting to see, like, where this goes, like, how long it lasts.
I know. I feel like this is one that has genuinely been going on longer than we all think.
I know.
Because they did keep it
wasn't it, like, back in summer when we were, like, some... too, and that was, like... And then we, like, heard about it. But even before that. So it's probably, like, going on a year, maybe.
I bet... the kids would really like him.
I know. I just wonder what, like, I don't know, it just, like, blows my mind.
What do you, to change subject a little bit, what do you feel is, like, a good time to introduce somebody to your kids?
I don't know. And I know, like, so celebrities, like, live in a different world where it's, like, you almost don't have to meet the kids because they're, like, nannies and everything, where, like, real people are like, well, I have the kids this week. And then, blah, blah, blah. They're at their dad's next weekend. I feel like for me, like, I feel like it'd have to be a long time.
Yeah, I think so too.
You don't want to, like, introduce all these people. I don't know.
I know. And I think it might change a little bit depending on how old the kids were. But if they're like school age,
right,
I just feel that you should be more careful about who you bring around, because...
And then it's like if that other person has kids too, and then that's like complicated.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to meet the new significant other, and then you have to do a different thing where they all meet.
Like a cheaper by the dozen situation.
It's so complicated.
Or wait, no, they were all one family.
Oh yeah.
Like a Brady Bunch situation.
Brady Bunch, yeah.
Whoops. Wrong movie with a bunch of kids.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah.
But
anyway, well, Hannah and I reluctantly listened to Rachel Goes Rogue.
Yes, and it's not good so far. The problem with just both of them, like Sandoval and Rachel, is that they don't take any accountability.
I know.
And it's like I start tuning her out when she's like, well, it's like, what? That's like the first main poor thing about the situation. But then it's like, why are you doing this?
I know. I can't even understand. So many things that she said in there were contradictory.
They were, and like the story has changed so many times. With them, the dog story's changed. The first time they hooked up has changed, and it's like, what? Like, what is
going on? And because things have changed throughout this, and because both of them did keep this dirty secret for so long, I don't believe anything that comes out of either of their mouths.
No.
So like,
I don't even know if they even know or care. And it's
know.
I'm sorry, you don't just randomly, he comes and sees you one night and you randomly kiss. Like, this has been going on.
I know.
And then like obviously hook up then. But it's like, this is going on way longer than that.
But here's what annoyed me. So I don't know what the purpose of telling the first hookup story was, because it paints her in a horrible light.
It makes it even worse.
Yeah, it does.
There's Ariana asleep upstairs. And then she's like, he said, I made the first move, blah, blah, blah. But I said, why don't we go in the car and talk?
Right.
What do you, like, okay, so what was your intention of going in the car and talking?
Or even, he said, you know what the best thing about this pool is? It's heated. And then I said, should we go for a swim? I mean, what? Like, why? I would never in a million years think that any of that situation would be appropriate to do with your husband.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, there's no reason for like me and somebody else's husband or boyfriend or long-term whatever to be doing that.
No, I mean, and I could see the drinks. You're out. You know, whatever. That's not a big deal. If it was just them, that would be weird, but it wasn't. And then even the ride home, it's like, you know, you would bring your friend's boyfriend home. But then when he said, do you want to come in for a nightcap? Where's Ariana? Asleep. No, I'm going to go.
It's getting weird.
Yeah, I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Exactly. It's like, there's just no...
It was just, I don't get the point of that. Like, no. I don't get the point of it. And like you said, with taking accountability, it just seemed like everything that she said in this podcast, it was making an excuse. And everything was like, well, I did this because of blah, 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 blah. No. You made your own choices.
Literally.
All you have to do is say,
I didn't care.
I messed up.
Right. I didn't think about the consequences. I didn't want to, you know, it's just like none of it.
No, and even I am getting really sick and tired of the, like, I'm in my selfish era. I'm in my people pleasing era. Stop.
I know.
No. Like, you don't just flip-flop as a person like that either.
No, and it's like, yes, you were being... And she's like, I could see someone who is just really taking care of themselves, doing what they wanted to do. You are, and then the frustrating part too is you are not a child.
Right.
You are, she was what, 28 when this happened. That is almost 30 years old.
Well, and you know what? In Heather McDonald's episode today.
I'm so behind.
I know, but she said that exact same thing. She had Brandy and Julie on, and they were like, I like when they're on.
I know. But
I think it was Julie that said, you know, a young girl or something, and Heather's like, I wouldn't classify someone that's 27, 28, 29 to be a young girl.
Right.
Like, there are women who have multiple kids, a husband, a life that they're taking care of. It's like, I mean, that's you, too.
It's like, wait a dang minute. Yeah. I'm just saying that. I'm out here raising kids and you're freaking still screwing around with somebody's husband, basically.
Excuse is
this
just
crazy.
Absurd.
And like, it is young, but it is not a child.
No,
like, I'm sorry.
You're old enough to know better.
Literally.
You're too old to use that as, well, I just didn't, I was so impressionable. No, if she was 22, you know what? We make mistakes.
I know. Like, and I think we said that too before. Like, if you were kind of like doing this thing.
Yeah.
At that age, I probably wouldn't have called you out on it that much.
Yeah.
You know, like but now I would hope that I would like be like, girl, what are you doing? We're too old for this.
Right. And I mean, the thing is, it's like through the pod, it's almost like, well, yeah, I am kind of shocked or disappointed about the people that you didn't stand by me. And I learned who my true friends are. How could you possibly expect to keep friends after this?
I know. It's like, I don't want you around my friend.
Yeah.
Or I don't want you around me.
I mean, we've been friends for like literally like 25 years. Why did I even say it?
Stop it. I'm going to go jump off this railing right now. No, because we're only 21. How could we have been friends for 25 years?
Oh my God. Anyway, forget that. We're editing it out. But the point I'm trying to make, even with our long-standing friendship, if you did that to me, or even if you did that to one of my friends.
Right. Like if we had like a big friend group in a situation like that happen.
I truly don't know if I could ever look at you the same.
Right.
Like I would not be able to just hang out with you, trust you with like
around your significant other.
Yeah.
And it's like if you could betray someone like that, it's like that's not the kind of person I want to like be around or like have in my circle. And a lot of those friends were all their friends. It's like, why would they want to be friends with you if you hurt their other really good friends?
And like exactly, there's no trust. How can they don't know if that could happen to them. You know, I mean, it's just. It was bizarre. Like, the lack of self-awareness was shocking for somebody who went into inpatient therapy and is still in
I know, and then she keeps making these like comments like, well, now that I've done the work or now that I've done the therapy and stuff, but it's like it doesn't seem like you've done any therapy other than somebody telling you that you were just doing you, basically.
I know. And
I'm like, what were they actually telling this girl? Because she cannot comprehend like what she did that was wrong.
And like I've said before, like I work in that field.
Right.
Like I cannot fathom having somebody come to me with this and me being like, you know what? It's okay to be selfish. And let's talk about all the things that were happening because of it. Like, no, I mean, you listen to someone's story, but like they need to take accountability and then move forward. And the thing that was really frustrating to me was also how she kept saying like, yeah, you know, I've been reading stuff. I'm going to watch this season. I listened to Tom's podcast like 5 times. I sent this to my therapist. We were talking about it. I'm not one to like whatever this therapist is doing, obviously
I know,
they think it's the right thing
Right.
for Rachel, and I don't know anything about
Right.
her anything, but
Or like what you do in a situation when your person is like on a reality
right,
show.
it's
like
different.
It's weird, but
all we know is what she is saying right now. And if I was in that situation, I don't think I would be encouraging her to stay so immersed in this situation and bring it into our sessions.
Right. Like, are you guys gonna what happens when they're not talking about her anymore in the season? Like, are you still gonna have to dissect all these people?
Right.
Like, it just none of it made sense.
I hate to maybe burst her bubble, but I don't think the entire season is going to be them talking about her.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, I'm obviously they're gonna address the situation, but I don't even know if they're gonna say much about her at all, because none of them are in any kind of communication with her.
Right. So that to me felt a little self-consumed of just thinking that,
and the way she was talking about it too, where she almost sounded like a child, well, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna go through it all, and it's like, why?
Why? Like, you don't that is that going to help you heal?
Right. And to see
not.
And I feel like it would, in theory, be hard to see James and Sandoval and Ariana dealing with the aftermath of this. I don't know.
If you cared, you would think it would, but...
And the way she doesn't even, she didn't even really say Ariana's name.
No.
Ariana is such, a minor detail
to her. I know. Well, because in her mind, they weren't even friends, basically.
They weren't friends. They were glorified roommates.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that she was saying too, where she's like, well, he told me they were and he 100% did tell her that, but come on, 9 months later.
I know. And then how she said the scene, towards the end of the season where she asked about their sex life and stuff. I mean, how she tried to justify that question.
She's I was just trying to get the full story, because I was gonna, since I was hooking up with Sandoval and stuff.
I was absolutely floored. I'm like, that was so devious. I don't even have words for that.
It's literally evil. And again, it was the effort they had to put in to have this affair, and they were even willing to risk it knowing they were going to start filming.
Right.
And that they were filming. I mean, I guess towards the end is kind of allegedly when it happened, but it's
they were filming.
It's so ballsy.
I know.
And
it's just, and I don't necessarily believe that, relationships can be really challenging, and he is somebody that I think can paint a really pretty picture for people. But we haven't heard that he's abusive in any sort of way. Is he a little manipulative? I mean, I don't know. We didn't see that much with Ariana. I think with some of the stuff that's been coming out, it's he spun a certain narrative, but do I think Tom is just he's always been this evil, downright scum person? I don't know, I just don't know. We haven't seen the pattern of this, of how Rachel's trying to spin that he completely wrapped her up in this. Yeah.
It was and then she started talking about the love bombing and stuff. And I'm like,
I tried to get away.
Right. And it's Tom is kind of like that. And even other people were saying no, Tom is a nice guy. He does make you feel special and stuff. And I do think that he really did like her.
Yeah, I do too.
So it's kind of just this, I don't know. It's just not taking accountability. You're not.
Yeah.
No, you were in the wrong, even if you did believe him and stuff. But it's not he was especially when she told that news story, I was oh, she was all in.
Right.
well, why don't we go to the car? Well,
Like,
why don't we get in the pool?
Yeah, there wasn't any coaxing there.
No.
So, yeah, and
I did like the way he made me feel. He made me feel heard. And I was like, is that all it took? And then you can hook up with Rachel?
Yeah,
Like,
and how like, I just cannot imagine in a million trillion years being the age that we are now and thinking that it is totally fine to just strip and get in a pool with my friend's significant other, long-term partner. Like,
right. That you own a house with, that you own pets with. Like,
behind their back while they're sleeping inside.
Yes.
Like, I just, that to me is so just disgusting. Like,
it's literally
I just
awful.
Don't. It's
awful.
And the way that she was trying to spin, like, well, production wanted me to come back for this. Production was mad that they didn't get this on camera. Production. This isn't about that.
I know. Again, like, I'm going to blame production.
Yeah.
They were loving it. Nobody knew this was happening. You literally said this was all off camera. Like, stop saying that they made you guys have an affair. Like, it's just crazy.
And even like the aftermath stuff, do I think that they wanted her to come back or to at least have a sit down with Lisa? Absolutely. Right. Do I believe her story of events of how Lisa was practically begging her over the phone and production was just dying for her to come to Tahoe?
And then when she wouldn't, they were just done with her.
Yeah.
Well, they can't, they're filming. If you're not going to film, then they're not, why would they talk to you?
And didn't she also say that, like, she considered coming back and said that she wanted to be paid as much as Tom and Ariana, and they said no? So then, okay, the story's yet again changing.
Yes. Like, and I was, because like I've said before, I've been rewatching Vanderpump and stuff, and I just finished season 8. And she's in, and now I'm in season 9, and the season 9 is like the first season she's like actually in it more. Like, she just is barely in it, and I was like, I remember like from before thinking that she was in the show more, and she literally isn't. Why should she? And she's not really giving us anything again until season 9. So it's like, why should she be getting paid extra for something that she was doing off camera?
Right. And I mean, Tom and Ariana have been on this show from the beginning.
And giving a lot and in every episode. And having like turmoil always on camera. It's
so I do not agree
barely
at
been
all
in it.
that she should get paid that same amount.
I know. I think she can try. Like, why not?
Why not?
But
or
I don't think they owe that to her.
Could I see Bravo giving her some sort of bonus?
Right.
Sure.
Right.
But do I think that she should get base pay as much as Tom? No, I don't.
No, she hasn't given anything.
Yeah.
Really, until literally season 9.
The dog thing was really frustrating too. And you know what? This is from also Juicy Scoop. Brandy and Julie, you know, all of them are very like humane and like really care about animals and stuff. And they brought up how she's saying this whole thing about how James is like a horrible dog owner and shouldn't have dogs, blah, 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 blah. But then they said, we saw in season 10 where Graham, now hippie, had that horrible abscess and gash.
Oh, yeah.
And she
James
like
was all upset
didn't
about it.
notice it for a while. And then was like, oh yeah, I don't know how it happened. And
James was like questioning her about it. He's like, you didn't even tell me like this happened. And I mean, obviously not all doodles are the same, but I also wanted to point out I have a doodle.
Yeah.
And she is not, and they're like, everybody has a doodle.
Right.
And they are not typically like this aggressive beast that she was acting like Graham was.
And even how she was describing it, like, you know, you kind of roughhouse with the dog a little bit. You pull their toy away. You do whatever. Like, that's okay to do. It's in fun. It's not like you're making the dog be aggressive.
Right.
And I thought it was, to me, like, she's the one that is not a knowledgeable pet owner, because even when she was saying like Graham was like very territorial to like his bones and toys, pretty much like all dogs
I know,
are.
like even our doodle, like if she has a bone, she might be a little funny about it, but she always lets like me take it.
Yeah.
But if she gets like that, then we don't let her have bones.
Right. Or like she wasn't a doodle, but when I was younger, we had a dog.
Right.
And it's at the end of the day, they're animals.
Right.
And
like
they're domesticated, but like in their ancestry,
right.
their food was their food, and
right.
they didn't know like when else they were going to get that food. So yeah, they are going to be protective over it.
And they are so like food based brained.
And if your dog is growling a little bit,
right,
that's a warning, and you need to either be like, you know what, I'm not going to take that from them because I don't need to take that from them. Or if it's like a situation where they need to get whatever taken away, then there's like, you know, you can punish your dog or whatever. But it's like you don't poke the bear and then be surprised when it attacks you. It's the same with an animal, like any animal.
I know. And it's... I know. She's like, I'm not trying to make claims, but she kind of is saying that James was like abusive to the dog and like kicked the dog off the couch. And I'm like, what did that mean? Did he make the dog I mean, I make my dogs get up all the time. Like,
or you
I flick my
sometimes
hand.
push your dog.
Right.
Like,
it's like, please move.
Right.
Or like in the bed when she's smashing my legs, I will like move my legs so she gets up, and then I readjust and she readjusts. Right. It's like, I don't know what she was like saying. And then...
And I'm sorry, but those are kind of big allegations.
They are. It's like you're calling him an animal abuser. I hope you have the, receipts for that. And two, like, she told the story again about how the dog bit her mom.
Which that story again changed.
Yes. And it's like, why? So you're in treatment after this huge thing. Mm-hmm. Why are your parents bothering you with this?
Right.
Like, I thought that was
the
craziest thing. I know.
And
like,
then,
I'm sorry, my kid's in that. The dog is smaller than my dog.
Way smaller.
If you're having that many issues, then don't really interact with it. Feed it, water it, let it out, and then
wait for her to be done with treatment.
Like, okay, I really need you to take this. It's like, if she's calling her in thing, making her figure it out, and then they find allegedly this, and then she goes like, and nobody else, people kept giving the dog back because he was so aggressive.
Yeah. And then she's like, but nobody contacted me. No, they didn't, because you were in a treatment facility where no one was supposed to be contacting you.
With dog
and
stuff.
Like, didn't she even say that like production didn't know where she was?
Right. And she said she signed away her rights to the dog.
So why would they be contacting you?
And then she's like, well, they checked the microchip and it came back to me.
Which they should have done.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like
and then they knew, related to Vanderpump Rules, Vanderpump dogs. Right. That seems completely logical
and then
me.
she's like, they were trying to get a donation for a different trainer, and then Lisa was like, no. So they personally talked to Lisa. I don't know. It just was like this crazy.
If they did, if they're trying to get the dog out of their hands into another home, and Lisa Vanderpump, who is one of the biggest animal advocates, says, I will take the dog. This seems like a difficult case. You would be like, great. I trust you. Absolutely. And you know what? I think the proof is in the pudding, because what we've seen of Graham, now hippie, he seems fine.
Literally fine. And I feel like James, if he thought the dog was that bad, wouldn't have taken him back.
Right.
Like,
and the whole time James has been so upset about not having this dog.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that story was so stupid to tell.
I know. And it's like, well, I have to address the dog thing.
No, you didn't.
No, I kind of even forgot about it. Like, I would have remembered watching the new episode, and then I'm like, oh yeah, the dog thing. And I was like,
yeah, you didn't have to bring that up. Actually, you didn't have to bring any of this up. I just felt like,
how can you have a podcast for years and years talking about this?
You can't. You can't. I mean, this is literally a 3-episode arc.
I know,
and I'm tired of it already. I mean, listening to it, I just thought it was so stupid. I'm like, I am over this.
I know. Like, and it's just around and around in circles of no accountability. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to hear it.
We're going to get, you know, some of the blowback, the aftermath on this new season. But I don't want to keep replaying what happened in the past. If she really wanted to do this podcast, she should have done it immediately.
Yes.
I mean, sorry.
Because now nobody... And it's not even that nobody cares, but it's like, we kind of don't care anymore, though.
No, I mean,
we would have cared.
Don't need to hear these new details. And I think it's honestly painful. Like, I'm not saying that she needs to grovel on her knees and beg for forgiveness from people, but like, you're still not taking people's feelings into consideration.
I know, and you're not, she's not said a word about Sheena. And does not name Sheena. It's like she won't name the actual people that she hurt.
Really hurt. I mean, yeah, she's not. This is just digging up more stuff that is painful for the people that you used to call friends.
Right.
So it really shows that you still are in your selfish era and you don't care about other people.
Right.
And I'm not, like we said before, it would be so easy for her to just go off into obscurity.
Right.
And I'm really confused. The only logical explanation is that she doesn't know how she's going to get money.
I know. That's all I can think of too. And it's like, but she literally could just take pretty pictures on Instagram and like start making money again. Like, you don't need to do this. Like, it's just, nobody's going to care. And like, when she's talking about doing the podcast, when she was on Bethany's thing, she kind of acted like she was going to like have guests on and stuff.
It was
and now
be
it's
mental
like,
health focused. No. Just gonna be me rehashing every time I was with Sandoval.
Literally.
Every time we betrayed everyone around us. I don't want to listen to... Like, I'm not planning on listening to another episode.
No, because I don't want to listen to somebody who can't take any accountability.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear you. You're 1 year younger than me.
Right. And look how... Like, I'm single... And I still can't even fathom doing any of the things that she did.
Literally. And no, you put a restraining order against your friend.
Yeah, who treated you so well. Even with like when she was talking about the James thing. And she's like, well, you know, it really hurt me when then a few weeks later he brought around a new girlfriend and said that was the love of his life. And okay, but like... You know, that's you saying somebody else caused me to feel this way.
Yes.
We are in control of our own thoughts and actions. People don't make us make decisions or feel
sleep with somebody else's long-term partner.
Yeah. Or like, you know, you were drinking. Okay, that's an unhealthy coping skill. That was your choice. You're not saying that you're an alcoholic. You're saying that you not like consciously turned to that because you were stressed out or unhappy or whatever. Like, it's just baffling. And
really
it's just like...
I just want to, like, shake her. Like, she's just not getting it.
So, yeah, I just...
And then she said that thing, like, in that preview thing for the thing where she's like, well, I wasn't going to do the show because I knew it would hurt Ariana because it hurt me when James brought Allie around. First of all, that's the first time you said that. She did not say that ever. This time.
Yeah. No, she didn't. She didn't bring it up at all.
It's like, that was just a hindsight thing. Like, oh, well, yeah, it would have been hard for Ariana probably if I would have been around.
Well, I also loved at the beginning of the episode the total fake. Like, well, I mean, even last night we were talking about me not wanting to do this.
She's like, I wasn't going to do this, but then I was like, no, I like need to do it.
Yeah. I just think that I need to like do this for me.
It's so bad.
Yeah. If anyone listens, 1.5 speed brings it to a normal person's speed of talking.
But, all right.
Anyway, that was a long time spent on her. And it was mainly just us ranting. But if you don't want to listen, there's a great recap for you.
We gave it all the gist of it.
Basically as long as the original episode. Anyway, I know that you're not watching the current season of Salt Lake City, but have you heard about the bombshell?
I have heard about it, which
Hannah did start watching from the beginning.
I know, I am starting to watch from the beginning. it's hard now. Well, it's like I know about Jen Shah, but I actually didn't even like know what she looked like
Me
or anything.
either.
I know I'm like, oh, this is the Jen Shah.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to like connect to the like her because of what we know now.
I know.
But I'm still like, they're a fun group of ladies.
You're trying to take it as what it is
and it's
from
like,
watching from season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, obviously because I had
Book,
listened to Heather's book. I guess she's my favorite right now just because I'm like familiar with her.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I just started watching it from the beginning too. I think I'm like 2 or 3 episodes in, and it's weird to go back and watch.
I know, it's kind of like because you're always like hearing about these people, but I didn't really know what they looked like except for Heather. But
so the whole drama that kind of broke, and tonight actually when we're filming is the part 1 of the finale, but or the reunion, I mean. But last week there was a huge bombshell with Monica being revealed as Reality Von Tease, which was basically a troll account. And then other people were brought into it, like Tanisha, who is Heather's hairstylist and used to work for Jen Shah too, and then also a dress designer of Jen Shah's. They were all friends. So basically, Cliff Note version is that this Reality Von Tease allegedly had been saying stuff about all of the ladies for quite some time.
So
focusing on
this
Jen
like
Shah.
Reality Von Tease, was this brought up in the show?
Well, that's what I don't know because
or if this is like off camera breaking the
I
fourth.
think
Talk
it's
about
off
breaking
camera.
the fourth
Oh, I know,
wall.
I know.
This crushed the fourth wall.
The fourth wall is gone.
Derailed.
But what the interesting thing is when you go to Reality Von Tease now, the only thing that is posted is Jen Shah content. So I don't know when that was scrubbed.
Right.
If much was taken down, how much was on there previously about the other ladies. But, you know, I don't know. I feel really torn by it because on one hand, I'm like, it's Monica infiltrated.
That's kind of, I know.
It's kind of amazing.
I know. It literally is. It's almost like, dang. Like, it is. Like, she... And I don't know like a ton about like the beginnings of it, but it's like the way she was able to maneuver to actually get on the show.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if you actually get on the show and you're like a genuine, almost in a way like a fan, like a mega fan who's obsessed with them and loves to hate them and stuff, and you like get to be on the show with these women.
You become a full cast member, not just a friend of.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like on the show.
I know.
You get to be with all these people. It's kind of, I don't know. It's like kind of awesome.
I know.
But again, like I don't know that history.
Yeah,
and how traumatizing that would be for the women.
And that's the thing. I wonder if when we're watching the previous seasons, if it will come up at all.
Or if we'll like see any like little clues.
But this was Monica's first season. So that's where it was like even weirder where you're like, wait, how long has this been going on? But she's been around you guys, but not, So anyway, I guess, and I don't think anything has even been like posted on this account since the Jen Shah, like she went away and stuff. So that's where my other, I guess, not like problem with this situation, but just like she hasn't been in your group sharing out things, like getting stories, then posting them. Right, like actively as you're filming with her. So I'm almost just like, it's not necessarily that like she's just been having all these conversations and getting secrets from you and then turning around and posting it all. But also how's that different than like allegedly Lisa Rinna leaking stories to TMZ
or any of them doing that?
I mean, how is that any different?
It's like just because it wasn't like a dedicated page, but it's like it does make you wonder if there are some of the other ones that have like these dedicated.
I bet
it's
you
a
that
very
they do.
Like Dan Humphrey.
Yeah, I mean, she said in her her now infamous quote is Gossip Girl couldn't stay Gossip Girl forever. But like it really is. I mean, it's a page out of Gossip Girl's book. Like
it's so scandalous.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
But here's the thing. So Tanisha has kind of been getting traction recently. Right. And that's still Heather's hairstylist. I think that's a big betrayal for your hairstylist. That's what I think too. But conveniently, Tanisha's the one that told Heather about it, and had a crisis of conscience.
Yeah, well, you should.
But I don't believe that because now it's coming out that she has saved all this stuff from Monica. She said she had like 1,200 or 1,500 screenshots in a folder of stuff that Monica or other people have said. And I'm just like, you do not do that and save that stuff for such a long period of time without being calculated and knowing that you're going to take a person down.
And like, were you going to until she got on the show? Then all of a sudden you're like, it was almost like I hate you.
Almost like she knew that this was a goal of Monica's, and so she was waiting for the perfect moment. Yeah, and then, I mean, she said, because she was in one of our like online friends, like a live that she did, and she came in and was like spewing her side of the story, which I appreciate, like hearing both sides. But I think that we're all kind of like blurred. Well, not all, everybody, because there are people that are like a little weary of Tanisha, but I personally am like, I don't know why we're putting this person as, oh, she's telling the gospel. Like, I don't believe what she's saying either. She was a part of this. Of course, she's going to try and
be like, no, cover her. Like, I was doing this for you.
Or like, oh, I was involved at first, but it got too messy and I said that's enough.
I just wanted to do the Jen stuff.
I still stayed in the group chat and took screenshots of everything and edited out my portion. It's just like, and yeah, like I think, like you said, she is a hairstylist. She has prime gossip of a bunch of these ladies.
And now they're on TV and it's like, I know, like that just feels like, that's a betrayal.
And is Heather almost like scared?
I know.
Like, I better keep my enemy close.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like that's what I think. Cause Monica, she can't be trusted either. But
do you think production knew?
I don't know. I mean, they knew. I think that they found out. Heather definitely found out about it before like it all went down on camera. And Tanisha even said that she knew about it before like the big dinner. And she had to have like told production about something. But it's
just crazy that she was on the show.
Well, that's what I think is so weird, because
being the reveal like at the end.
But also it's weird that she even was a housewife.
Yeah, that's
like why was she selected to be a housewife? How often are just random associate? I mean, she was Jen Shah's assistant. That has never happened.
No.
Where an assistant has suddenly become a main cast member.
I know. That's why you almost are kind of like, how did she get on the show? Did production know? And then we're like, well, this is kind of cool if she's like a part. Or did they get wind that she might be a part of it?
Yeah.
Or a part of something big. And then it was like, they didn't know that it was going to come out, but they thought at some point it could.
Well, and the thing too, it's like, do I think that a bunch of these ladies in other franchises to have like their own troll accounts? I mean, they probably don't, but do I think they have a burner account that they are looking and they're liking and they're commenting or following all these different? Absolutely. Yep. And I think that part of like what Monica knows and what maybe some of the other ladies are like more kind of nervous about is their interaction with her account. Were they sending in tips? Yeah. Or even if they were DMing and being like, LOL, yeah, I heard this too, then they're gossiping about each other. I don't know. I mean, it made for amazing television,
It
obviously. But I don't necessarily think that Monica needs to be put on a pedestal, but I don't think that she's like scum of the earth either.
No, it's like, wouldn't you do it too? I mean,
Yeah, I
like
know.
literally, it's kind of like, but I mean, it sucks if you're the victim, but it's like, I don't know. I get it, girl.
I know. Like I kind of,
that's the wrong thing to think.
And just with like the others involved, like with Tanisha or the other people, it's like, in my mind, like you're just as guilty, even if you said like, yeah, I was a part of it, but I ended up confessing. Okay.
Right.
But you still were a part of it.
Right.
And you lied about it this whole time.
I know.
Why am I believing you all
I know,
of a
and
sudden?
it kind of sounds like she's jealous she didn't get on the show.
Well, and in the one live she was on, she's like, no, I don't want the fame. Like, I just want to live my life. And then I saw that she was like going to be on somebody else's live. She's been doing interviews. Like, somebody who does not want the accolades does not act like that.
Literally. I know. It's like, maybe you don't want to be maybe you don't want to be a housewife per se, but you're definitely eating it
You're
up.
trying
Like,
to get
this
your
is
name
huge,
out
right?
there. Yeah.
It's like,
So I wonder how the reunion is going to go.
like, now I kind of want to watch the reunion, even though
You honestly should. I mean, it's not like you have to watch these seasons all in order all the time. Just watch the reunion and then double back like I am.
Maybe I will. It's kind of crazy.
It is. It's just like nothing like that has happened on the show before.
And I know. And what's kind of cool about the Salt Lake people is that they did know each other at least a little bit before it.
Yeah.
So it's like this person was kind of like in the mix
I know.
too. So I do feel like I don't know. I just feel like that makes for a better reality show.
I agree.
When it comes to this, but
well, to round things out, should we just quickly go through Beverly Hills?
sure.
Since
Pretty boring episode.
it's pretty boring. Yeah.
I don't even remember anything.
Well, it started off with the Denise and Erica thing. I just felt like I thought Erica was completely in the right. I'm sorry.
Well, and it's like, if you're gonna if you're gonna poke at somebody, they are gonna get mad and they're gonna be like I just don't know why Denise was doing this now.
Yeah, me either.
And it's like, have they really not spoken at all? And then it literally had the flashback of Erica apologizing after the situation. So it's like, why are you talking about this again?
And Denise even being like, oh, I know, like I have a potty mouth too.
Right.
You know, like she was almost like joking about it.
Right. And she was like happy that she apologized.
Yeah.
Why would you bring it up now?
Like all these years later, you're suddenly so enraged.
Mad about it again.
Yeah. And also, you know who Erica is. You know that she can go for the jugular. And I just thought she was completely justified. Like,
it's like, stop. Okay, first of all, you came at me drunk the other night.
Completely.
Now you're coming at me again. And it's like
what? And where do you want to go with this? She's totally right. Like, I don't know what you want.
Right.
I don't know why we're having this conversation. Right. I think too, like, it's almost more unsettling to see Erica so calm, but spewing daggers.
I know. It's like, it reminds me of like an evil Disney person where it's like, and then all of a sudden the flames start like coming up over her head, then they're purple.
Yes.
Like, I don't know.
Like
it
Melissa
is
Fent or something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like before she would get loud and like in someone's face or whatever, but now she's just sitting there and just
calm.
But the stuff she's saying, it's like just her words are cutting.
I know.
She is powerful.
She is.
I mean,
she
is intimidating. She's top dog.
You know, I'm not gonna get on her bad side.
I know. What else even happened?
Well, I just want to make a comment too. Like, people kind of like keep questioning Kyle, like losing the weight, blah blah blah. Did they not know what happened to her friend?
No, I think that they do.
Then they
but
need
maybe
to
not.
freaking lay off.
It's
like
bizarre.
It just seems like such a weird thing to keep poking at somebody who went through something so traumatic. And it's like, obviously she's going to be in a funk. It's such a weird thing that they're like poking at her about stuff like that. It's like, obviously she's not, I don't know.
She's more sensitive now. She's like going through changes. And she's been honest about like, yeah, my marriage is kind of in a weird place right now. It's
I'm
hard.
in a weird place.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird how they can't leave good enough alone.
I know. It's like, well, I'm wondering about her marriage too. Well, yeah. It's just annoying.
The really uncomfortable moment with Garcelle and Dorit.
Yes.
You know, it's a sensitive topic to breach, but I think that Garcelle is justified in her feelings, and like that word being used about a Black woman can be triggering. I liked how Bravo did show that the word attack, though, is something that is very flippantly thrown around in the housewives realm with, I mean, pretty much no regard to the situation, really. It's like someone looks at you and you were attacking. Yeah, I mean, and I also feel like Dorit, in my mind, did not mean it in a racial way. And, you know, if Garcelle was so triggered by that, no, it isn't her job to educate everybody. But if that is something that she's very sensitive to, and this isn't something that Dorit knows, at least letting her know, like, this is a sensitive word to me.
Right. I know. Like, because kind of when the fight first happened, she shut down.
Yeah.
Or like kind of, she shut down and she shut Dorit down before they could like fix the situation. And obviously we all shut down when we in a way. But I don't think that was like, I don't know. It was hard because it's like, well, please tell her that. It's like she's not going to understand it, even though she should or whatever. But I don't. And it is, you know, when Bravo was showing like the attack thing, it is frustrating, and not to take away anything from like a Black woman's situation versus like everybody else. But it does oftentimes feel like women, when they try to like say they're upset about something, somebody will be like, you're attacking me.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we are so emotional. And then it's like, if another woman is coming at us, we're like, I'm being attacked. It's like we just automatically feel, and it is such a strong word that we all say all the time.
And
like,
especially in Housewives, it's thrown around all the time. Like, I mean, you could pull probably like hundreds of instances that being used in all the different cities. And yeah, I just think that Dorit genuinely did not think about that when using it toward Garcelle. And she hadn't been in that situation with Garcelle before. So she did not recognize that it would have, that word would have meant something different to her. Right.
And I think too, it did, Garcelle did, I can't remember if Garcelle brought it up or if Bravo just like edited it or whatever. But there was like it almost seemed like this had been an issue for Garcelle with Dorit before, and getting that little bit of context made the situation make more sense, because when you're just kind of watching that 3 minutes, you're like, wait, what just happened? Like, why is she upset?
And I know. I think it just really, though, stems from the fact that Garcelle doesn't really like Dorit, and she's just irked by a lot of things that she does.
Yeah, and I could definitely see that being the issue.
And when you don't like somebody, you're going to take,
when they say it,
you're going to take it in the worst possible way, you know? And it's,
for sure.
I guess it's kind of nice to see something like that on TV, though, because those are situations that happen in real life, and like people aren't educated by it. And so to hear them kind of like talk about it was like, I guess nice isn't really the right word, but it was just a good thing, I think, even though they didn't really come to a full
understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
know.
think that either side was going to completely get what they wanted out of that.
Right.
But, you know, if Garcelle doesn't like Dorit, then fine. Just then don't. Because, you know, Dorit, she I don't think I would go so far as to say that she fully lives in a bubble, but her privilege does change the way that she looks at life.
Right. And she's like one of the housewives that's like genuinely rich. And she's not hurting for things.
Right.
And she is kind of like that very like, I'm going to take the Instagram picture.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's just not.
I do think though that Dorit is in a weird place this season.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, like she kind of alluded to some stuff previously with PK.
Right.
You know, we've seen glimpses of stuff with like maybe their disagreements about stuff with the kids or whatnot. We're still coming off of her like PTSD from this break-in. It's like she is kind of in an unsettled.
Right. And maybe she wouldn't even have gotten or like felt attacked by Garcelle if she hadn't been in this like weird place too.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, you know, with Garcelle, like I like her, but sometimes I'm like, do you want to be like with these women?
I know. I don't feel like she feels like, just as a viewer, seems very connected with them.
Yeah. And I mean, that's got to be hard.
It is.
And so then you know, she is the only Black housewife on Beverly Hills. So
well, we have the Anne Marie that's not really on there.
I don't really want to count her because
she was there for one episode and then they like kicked her off.
I know. Esophagus gate. But that's going to come up again.
I know. I did see that preview. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about her because she's only been in one episode.
I know.
But yeah, it is definitely
yeah, I feel that way with Crystal too. I'm just like, I said that I think like at the top of this season or before it started, where I'm just like, you're not bringing a lot, and I genuinely don't know if you enjoy the company of these women. Like and if you don't, then that's okay. Like nobody should force you to be on the show. Like it should be about the women having fun together and going through stuff. So I don't know, because it seemed like when she had that party, the taco party, that like the other women that she brought were her real friends.
Right. I know,
so
like I needed somebody.
I know. Sutton went on that date, and the moment I saw him, I'm like, that's somebody that Sutton is interested in.
I was like a little, the way that matchmaker, which I actually find that matchmaker stuff really interesting. Yeah, but the way that matchmaker had to like explain to her like just etiquette in general was a little like, in the way she was sitting there, I was like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I haven't been on in the dating scene for many years, but I feel like if I was dating now, I would have more etiquette than
Sutton. Yeah, I just can't get a vibe on Sutton sometimes.
No. I'm like, is she just trying to be like kind of funny? Like I couldn't tell if it was kind of like a bit like hee hee.
Well, and
I'm blah, blah, blah.
To go off of that too, if we're gonna say any of these housewives are disconnected with the general public and their privilege has gotten the best of them, it has to be Sutton.
Right.
Like without question.
I really feel like this cast don't enjoy each other.
They're not meshing.
No, like it's too many different, I don't even know, backgrounds, thoughts. Like they just don't really seem like they have like a connection. Like with like OC, even though that wasn't like a great season. Yeah. It still felt, I don't know.
There's history between them. Yeah. I feel like we can keep Kyle, Dorit, and Erica.
Yeah.
And I think we need to bring in people that are actually friends of them or in their circle for real. and take out everybody else.
I know, because it's not, they don't have anything in common except for wealth. And there's all kinds of different wealth. Like, it's like Kyle was supposed to marry rich, but it's like she was in the long game, and now she's rich, pretty rich with her husband. But it's like, and then Sutton obviously is like next level rich. Erica was and now isn't. Isn't. Quote unquote. It's like, I just feel like they're very different people.
Yeah, I think this cast needs a shakeup.
I know, they need to.
I don't want to see them all go and start from scratch, but I think who I just said, those core 3 can stay and then kind of build it around them.
And even when like Lisa Rinna was on, it was like, there was like too much drama, too much going on. Yeah. But there was still like, it seemed like they actually had relationships with each other, and that's why it was hurting. Right. And then it's kind of weird to have Kyle on there without any of her sisters at all, because we've not seen that.
Yeah, I like that we're getting a bit more of Kim.
Yeah, I know. I know, unexpectedly.
I know. But, also we know that Kyle and Kathy have mended things, because I saw that they were like in Aspen or something over this past week. So... And like, she's with Morgan Wade, and then the paparazzi said like, oh, are you and Morgan dating? And then Kathy was like, no, we're dating, to like Kyle and her. So it's like, and she like put her arm around her. So it's like they're out together. Obviously they've mended that, which I'm glad, because
it's so deep.
But that's what was nice about having Kathy on, and nice about having Kim on, is like, it was genuine. And some things in reality are produced a bit, but that was a real connection that they had, and the drama was, the feelings were real. When you just have all these random rich people together,
it's like, I know, just because you're rich, all rich, doesn't mean you're gonna be friends. Like, I don't know, it's just like,
like, I think that Kyle and Dorit are real friends. And then I think like Erica she kind of lost her way a little bit, but I think Erica can blend in with them easily. And she's got her own kind of stuff going right now and is good for the show. But yeah, everybody else, and don't even bother with that Anne-Marie. Like,
it's not going well.
No. But was there anything else you wanted to highlight from the episode?
No, I think that was about it.
Oh, the one thing I wanted to bring up about Crystal was her
she even barely
touching about her eating disorder.
Oh, what'd she say?
She was with the only main episodes or parts that she has where it's like her singular are her with her husband. And it always feels like her husband is trying to like, come on, Crystal.
Let's get some content here.
But she kind of just brought it up about, she used it as an excuse for her husband is like, you have opinions and you're vocal about them, but for some reason when you're around these women, you don't let that show. And then she kind of gave the reason why, because she's so distracted by how thin they are, which I think that's a really weak excuse. But I think her feelings are valid in relation to her history and her struggles with an eating disorder. And now that like Ozempic is basically being given out like freaking Smarties, it's like that must be really challenging for somebody that is struggling with an eating disorder, to see all these people who have never been thin before.
I know, this thin.
Yeah, suddenly thinner than they've ever been in their life.
I know.
And they could not get that way by just
and
diet
then it's
and
like
exercise.
It's not good for her mental health to take something like that. And on He Who Shall Not Be Named, when she was on his podcast, she literally started somebody, it might have been She Who Should Not Be Named, brought up like, how'd you feel? I can't remember what they asked, but asked her about the eating disorder. And then when she was like, this season I sat down with a bunch of ladies that were
way
so much smaller than they've ever been before, and of course, that didn't get elaborated on. But
No,
it's like
because it
that
was quickly
Right.
diverted to something else by he who shall not be named. Mhm.
by that one. But that is a really interesting
Yeah.
thing, and I would love to hear her talk about that.
Me too.
And it's like it almost seems like Ozempic would not be an option for her.
Right. Because even at the beginning of the season, remember the first episode when they were at that little retreat that Drake did?
Yes.
And like Erica walks in and she's smaller than ever.
Yeah.
Kyle is smaller than ever. And like, I think Kyle made the comment like, oh, what are you, the shrinking woman or something?
Right.
And then you hear Crystal say like, well, I wish I was that skinny. Which like Crystal is thin and beautiful. But it's like, there she is like comparing and
Right.
taking note of that, and everybody else is noticing. She's noticing even more because it's something that she struggles with.
Right. And then, she's on social media too, I'm sure,
Yeah.
seeing all the influencers and the Kardashians and everybody else who's never been this thin.
It is a really strange time because even people like that we know are taking.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a coworker that is on it, and it's almost like to a concerning level,
Right.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy. And it's just like, how long do you have to be on something like this? And it's like, what happens when you're like off it?
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll never, I mean, maybe not never, but you probably will never be as thin.
Well, then you
when
get
you're on
addicted to that,
It's
right?
like, look at all this weight I'm losing.
Yeah.
And everybody, like even Kylie, I was like, holy crap. It was like, it was her from the side.
Yeah.
And it was like from here to here. I'm like, that is so
That's like
small.
3 inches. I know. And I mean, we
So
commented earlier how she looked so great, and she does.
Right.
But it's strange to see these people on our screens.
Yes.
Because it's not them in real life.
Right.
And when you see them in real life, it is more shocking.
Right.
I mean, we could think that Kylie Jenner looks unbelievable, and she does. She looks so beautiful. But like, if we saw her in real life, would we be like, oh my God, she's so small,
so skinny? And
Yeah.
it'd be like, everybody is that skinny. And I thought it was interesting, or like kind of a weird thing too, where, you do have, just use the Kardashians, but even like all these people who got these BBLs to now suddenly be so thin.
We want the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's like just crazy. And it's like, obviously we kind of knew the BBL thing would be like a trend, but I mean, it's been kind of a trend for a long time. And now it's like to this, I don't know, it's just like a weird to get like a trendy plastic surgery.
I know.
For it to kind of almost like, now everyone wants to be really skinny and they probably don't want the big giant butts anymore.
Well, yeah, and then what are you doing to your body?
Right.
Like you're really putting your body through it.
And it's like, why would you pay all that money and go through all that for this like BBL thing just to be super skinny and almost like get rid of it? No, it's kind of crazy.
I know. I wish that we could explore that more with Crystal.
I know. It'd be nice to like hear it.
Yeah.
Especially because you're living with these people that you probably, maybe she didn't fully see them for 6 months. And then all of a sudden you're back filming and you're like,
It would
whoa.
be really shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe she is talking about it more and it's getting cut or
right.
whatever.
Or maybe it just,
but
because probably even when they were filming, it's like we were talking about Ozempic and stuff, but nobody was admitting to it yet.
when we were filming, right.
And now she would probably maybe want to talk about it more now that we kind of like know.
Yeah.
But
I guess before, I don't know if we're ready to wrap it up, but I did want to, since we mentioned he who shall not be named, but he has come out with a podcast with Katie Maloney and Dana. I don't know her last name. Kathan.
Did you listen to it?
No, I didn't.
Or is it out yet? I thought he said it was
know.
coming out.
I
Whatever.
am boycotting things that have anything to do with him.
The Envy Network.
I'm not gonna watch or listen to his Gypsy Rose.
No, I'm
gonna
not doing
wait
that
for
one.
Amanda Hirsch's. I just
Or Trisha Paytas, maybe.
Yeah, I just cannot sit by and watch watch some of our beloved reality people be taken into his web.
And like, not what I mean, it was a good thing for Katie to do, to have backing, obviously, but you don't need it because you're already like famous.
And how is it helpful for her to go on his new media company when
why
there's
does she
so many
need
others
a media
that
company?
are already but like, you know, Rachel is through iHeart,
right?
You know, like Call Her Daddy is through Spotify. You know, like do it. I don't know
Dear
who
Media
Sheena isn't. Sheena Dear Media. Yeah, I mean,
why aren't you doing that?
Yeah, it seems odd to not choose an existing media company to go under, but
strange. I don't know. It's
and
like
I would
random.
like to go on record and say that if we were approached, I would say no. I genuinely, we would. Would it be tough for us? Probably.
Right.
But we would leverage that to hopefully get ourselves another deal. But I would not, after all the things we have said, I would not go against it all.
No, I couldn't kiss his butt. I just couldn't do it.
No. And then he could be in control of our
I know.
Like, absolutely not. So you heard it here first. And for our loyal listeners, if that situation happens and we do buckle, I want you to hold us accountable.
You tell us what we said.
I would be okay with you never listening to us again if we caved to that kind of offer. That's how strongly we feel.
I know. I don't even want to say anything else.
I know.
It's like so irritating, but.
Okay, well,
I have one last. I listened to Tyler Cameron's book.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you were going to tell me about that.
It was...
I didn't know he had a book.
There was an episode of Celebrity Memoir Book Club that said he had one, so I looked it up and I listened to it. It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't like that profound either, but it was kind of nice to hear like a guy talk about like dating and like prioritizing or like putting an effort into relationships and stuff. And like I felt like he took accountability too for like past relationships, you know, like when you're in high school and stuff and like college. And but the one thing I wish he would have explored more was his like failed football career, because I feel like that would have been and like he like kind of gets into it being like this horrible time and him feeling like a failure and stuff, but he doesn't really get into it. And I think that would have been just such a interesting thing to dive into that a lot of people could relate to, like especially high school athletes that don't get to move on into college and do stuff and are like banking on it, and then they don't get through it. I wish you would have gave a little bit more with that. But
yeah, I wonder why. I mean, you're right. It probably is a painful thing,
right?
But
it was. I mean, the book was more like it was like surfacey level too. Like I wish he could have like dove into it more, but I mean, it was still like. Was fine, and he does seem like a person who has a lot of integrity and really tries to be a good person, and to be thoughtful and to be mindful of like women and like he was saying all the right things. But I do believe him. I don't think he would like.
I believe him too, because I haven't listened to his book, but I've listened to multiple interviews of his, and he hasn't changed like his what he's been saying. Like his character has stayed the same. And it just seems like you don't hear about drama with him. No. I mean, the last thing that he was really big in the news for was the Gigi Hadid thing. And then before and Special Forces. Right, and
like Hannah Brown and all that nonsense. But
like it was, you don't hear stuff about him that would contradict what he's portraying, and he does for the most part seem to keep a pretty low profile with his construction company.
I know, and I don't know how like what year that, I guess I could have looked it up.
Oh,
But
when
he
the
was-
book came out?
Yeah, but he was like living in New York, having a good time. And
So it must have been a couple years ago.
That's what
'cause
I'm
now he's in
thinking.
Florida.
yeah, and he kept saying, he's like, I'd love to go back to Jupiter, Florida and have
Mhm.
kids and coach football.
Gosh darn it, he did move back there. That's it.
He loved it. I mean,
I told Hannah, because I listened to an interview with him recently, and I was like, Tyler Cameron is such a babe, but it's the Florida thing that is a turn off for me. I just can't with Florida.
I know he literally loves it. He loves like his like family
I
and his
know.
friends down there, and he
Which,
loved growing up down there.
I guess if I did grow up there, if I did still have family
Right.
there, that would be different. But just, not that Tyler Cameron's knocking on my door by any means, but if he was, it would be really challenging for me to move down to
I mean,
Florida.
he is like all about it, man. Which good for him. But
He's a man that knows what he wants.
he does. Yeah, I mean, he was like, he seemed like, I want to have kids. I want to be the type of dad that can like spend time with my kids and, you know, just have like my partner and put in all my effort into my partner. And I know, like, he was saying all the right things.
Well, I mean, I think that probably shows the relationship that his parents had.
Actually, he said it wasn't good.
Really?
Yeah, which I think, and then he kind of says like at first he wasn't good in relationships and would like give up and stuff, but now it kind of like changed him. But
Wow,
they
that's
did
totally proven wrong.
I know. Well, then they end up being like friends later on. But they had a bad relationship, and he said, and he wouldn't get into some of it. So I don't know.
I
if
can
there
understand.
was-
That's respectful.
So, and I would have liked to hear just a little more insight into The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. He gave some, but I want like, because he made it far. Like, I want to know all the juice.
Well, my recommendation this week, I've already told you about it, but I'll tell our listeners, is going to be the podcast Trading Secrets by Jason Tartick, who was also in the Bachelor realm.
Look his face up.
I think you'd recognize him. He dated that Caitlin Bristow that I mentioned to you. But I listened to, he did an interview with Tyler Cameron, like, I think it was in March, and then one that was a little bit more recent, like maybe over the summer. And they talk a little bit more about The Bachelor, like kind of how he got
What's
into
his last
it.
name?
Tardick. And
there
if
he
he
is.
was approached for it, like, would he do it? Was he asked to be on Paradise? Was he asked to be the Bachelor? Like, so he talks a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out since we deleted the other one.
You know who from,
From the
our
lineup.
roster. But I like his podcast because unlike some other people, and not just the one that we're not mentioning, but other podcasts do this too. When they do an interview with somebody, they are not prepared. And Jason Tartick really does his research. He asks very thoughtful questions. And you can tell that he does care about all the people that he interviews.
That's nice.
And he gives them a lot of space to talk to.
Nice.
And like with some, you can tell that it's like, okay, these are the questions I wanted to ask. I'm pretty much getting through these. And in others, it's like this kind of morphed into a different interview than I thought it was going to be. But he still keeps with like his very thoughtful question asking. It's refreshing to listen to. I think that's a word that I use a lot, refreshing, but it's nice
when you find something refreshing.
Yeah, and I just started listening to his podcast, and I don't listen to all the people because I don't know them, or maybe I'm not interested. And sometimes because it is like a money podcast, like he'll ask them about that too, because he was in banking.
Yeah,
previously.
just said that. Yeah, like Wall Street stuff.
So like it is a little cheesy where he'll throw in like ding ding ding, like we're ringing the bell, you know, like the stock market, and use so like the podcast can be a little cheesy sometimes, but the content is really good, and I like it. So you should listen to his Tyler Cameron episodes.
That'd be a good one. My recommendation is gonna be, I know we talked about Saltburn last week, but if you like kind of like that,
it again.
watch it again, baby. 2 views. But if you like that,
I forgot to tell you something.
What?
No, just say your recommendation first.
If you like that kind of unhinged vibe, I had listened to a book recently called Earthlings. And it's different story and stuff, but it's kind of got that like wackadoo, like you're going all over the place.
That's fun.
Yeah. There's definitely trigger warnings.
Is it sci-fi?
Well, this girl has experienced some like traumas, like in her family and outside of her family. So she's like convinced herself like to cope with the pain, like the trauma, that she's from a different planet. And so it just kind of like keeps going and gets really wild, but it was sad too. But it was just a good book. So if you like that unhinged vibe,
give it a listen.
Give it a listen or a read, I guess. You could read it too.
Either way. Okay, so to close out our podcast, when you brought up Saltburn, I was on the phone with my grandpa yesterday.
Did you watch it?
No, but he said he listened to our podcast.
Oh dear.
And he's like, what kind of movie are you guys watching? He's like, I'm going to have to look up that bathtub scene.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no, Grandpa.
Please don't.
I was like, I don't think you need to do that.
I know. Well, I think I told you, but my mom watched it.
Yeah.
I just don't think she she didn't see the art that we did. She like literally wouldn't even talk about it.
Oh my God.
It was weird. That's all I got. I was like, but wasn't it good though? It was weird.
I was like dying when my grandpa said it. I'm like, out of all the podcast episodes,
that's the one you click on. When we've been begging you to listen this whole time. And that's the one you're going to click on.
I know. It was so funny. I mean, it was so sweet that he'd listened through enough of it. My grandpa's like 93, just for reference. It was so funny. Anyway, well, thank you if you made it this far.
You made it 3 hours and 55 minutes.
Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to us or given us 5 stars, shame on you, because you just listened to this whole thing and you're giving us nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, well. We have to, next episode, we're going to get back into our book club.
Oh, yeah.
We have to do that.
I keep getting them coming up and I keep like delaying them.
So just keep an eye out. Next episode, we'll jump back in for February probably. So
sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.